So Dave, hey, thanks for coming on the In Sync show. Tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
I'm from Wisconsin. I grew up in Oshkosh, which is probably a 2-hour drive from Racine here. I started in this business as a dishwasher in a supper club there until the fry cook quit, and then they asked me if I wanted to cook. So I'm like, yes. So that's where it started.
Fantastic. And then and you're from Wingspread, right?
Yes, Wingspread.
Wonderful. So what's been your biggest influence in culinary?
My biggest influence, I think, is with the food that we do and training our service staff to introduce the food to our guests. A lot of training with them so they're more knowledgeable when they're interacting with our guests. So I guess teaching them.
Oh, okay. Now, any particular chef or style when you were training to be a chef? Was there anybody have a particular impact on that?
Not really, just the people I worked with, which was great that I got to work with a couple really good chefs that were back in the day pretty hard on you, but appreciate it now.
Fantastic. So Wingspread, I've been there once. The property is really amazing, very unique and very different from the other properties that I currently work with. So what brought you to Wingspread anyways?
Well, I was working for a different food service and I applied for this position. And then I was called a week later that I got good news and bad news. The good news is that they got this account. The bad news is they hired someone else to do the chef job here, to be the executive chef. I'm like, okay. And then a week later, I got another call that said the chef they hired failed the corporate psychological test.
Okay.
And they said, can you come in and take this test? I'm like, why not? I guess I passed. So
nice. Fantastic. We an executive retreat and a very, very unique venue at Wingspread. Culinary, and I know the experience is completely different from any other property we've been to. Can you tell us the importance of culinary and how it relates to convening?
I think just the whole dining experience with our guests, they interact. I mean, I think dining is the most important part of their convening. They're not sitting down, they're not structured, they're kind of like throwing ideas at each other. The food's great, and I think they get more done actually in a dining setting.
Yeah, it's kind of a free flowing, right? It's I love the living room and the way that that central social area is set up. It's almost like it's purposely built to interact with food and that whole element. So that's certainly, maybe expand a little bit more on that.
Well, we actually, I've been here 35 years, so I've done a lot of things out there with guests, and we have groups that kind of do a lot of team buildings. One of our team building things, there's a tapas challenge that they up into groups. They're in the kitchen here, they're out in the dining room, and they love it. So they get medals. I mean,
oh wow!
A couple people have been back 3 times that they won and they have their medals on. So that was from the last time they came. It was kind of crazy. So
oh wow!
They get into it, and we've had salad, entree, and dessert stations where a group of 12 would come up and pick what type of salad, what type of toppings and dressing. We make it all there, and then they go sit down. Same with the entrees and then desserts. So it's kind of cool. Have a lot of plate design challenges where we have dessert sauces and whatever, and I'll give them a couple ideas, and then we pick a winner from that. That's kind of cool.
Fantastic. No, I love that. That's great. You need that interactiveness, and obviously people are very proud for them to come back to you and wearing medals from the competition. That says a lot. That's very cool. I read some very interesting on your website, and I've never heard this before. But what do bees have to do with culinary?
Pretty much everything.
Oh, really?
I don't think we have any plants or any flowers without, number one, the pollination. Mm-hmm. We have 4 hives going to 6 hives on our property. I use that honey, and I probably get 10 to 12 gallons a year. And with that, as much honeycomb as I want to put on our afternoon breaks, displays, that type of a break. So people are very interested in it, and we do have 1, maybe 2 bee suits coming that if someone's really interested, we can go down by the bees and
oh wow.
So we'll see how that goes this year, but really cool, and everybody loves them.
Yeah, somebody in a bee suit. Now that's something I probably have never heard at a corporate or a meeting event. It's gotta be. That's.
Well, I won't have like 20 of them, but if someone's really,
yeah,
go down there and see them, we can go down there. That'd be great.
Definitely an immersive programming right there. That's. Hey, what is your single most memorable or favorite guest experience that you could share with us?
Jeez. And this was a long time ago, probably, like I said, I've been working here 35 years. I was probably maybe working here 8. And Jesse Jackson came here with political leaders. And he brought a food taster. And I'm like, okay. So the guy came back in the kitchen and tasted his food, and it was satisfactory. So they brought it out and he ate it and everything. But that was probably the most memorable.
That's very interesting. So apparently you made the cut with that. Yeah. I wonder what had happened if he just would have said either. No.
Jeez, I don't know.
Wow, that's an interesting tidbit right there. So, no pun intended. What's a little bit of secret sauce, or maybe that's something that somebody didn't know about culinary, about yourself, that we could leave them with?
Well, probably not too much of a secret, because obviously I've been here as long as I have. And I'm allowed, thank goodness, to cook anything I want to cook. So in that kind of thing, I can be as creative as I want to. I've done a lot of entrees and mostly desserts that I say look cool. I'm not sure how you're going to eat it, but take them out. There could be a chocolate pedestal with some homemade ice cream or custard on top of that.
Nice.
Out to the guests, and I'm like, I'm not really sure but it looked cool. So,
hey, sometimes looks is most important thing, right? It's presentation is certainly a high element there. So
one thing I might do this. We have board meetings here for the Johnson Foundation board, and one of the things I'm going to do is I'm kind of stuffing beef tenderloin with pork tenderloin. So then you tie it up. So when you cut it, there's a medium pork tenderloin and medium rare beef tenderloin. So done it once, turns out pretty well.
Very cool, like a fusion of meats. I've never heard that before.
That's right. A pork duckin', right? Not quite, but.
Hey, very cool. Hey, Dave, I really appreciate you spending a few minutes with us. Very interesting conversation. I hope we can do it again soon.
Yeah, sounds great to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of the day and the weekend.
You too.
Take care.
Yep, bye.
Bye-bye.